Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Yesterday, Nebraska baseball was selected to the Stillwater Regional, hosted by the 11th overall seed, Oklahoma State. Coach Bolt spoke to the media yesterday about a variety of different topics, including what the team can take away from their run in Omaha.
You just understanding that you got to go earn it. You got to go earn it every day, and that's the thing that we're trying to think about pushing buttons with the team and the message and talking. That seems to really resonate with this group. Is just the rent's due every day. You got to show up and you got to earn it. So that's the thing. I mean, you got to get the work done in the cages, on the field, with their defensive reps and, their bullpen sessions and how you play catch and just all of it, just trying to stay, like I said, process-driven and be able to keep it going.
More from Coach Bolt later in the show. The Huskers will play the 3-seed Florida Gators Friday at 2, with pregame coverage beginning at 1:30 on the HRN. In other Husker news, Nebraska softball received commitments out of the transfer portal yesterday from a pair of twins. Lauren and Hannah Kamenzind transferred from Arkansas to the Huskers and are from Omaha. Lauren is a righty utility player, while Hannah is a left-handed pitcher that went 9-1 with a 3.07 ERA this past season. Both will have 2 years of eligibility remaining. Former Husker pitcher Spencer Schwellenbach got the call to the big leagues earlier today. Schwellenbach is a member of the Atlanta Braves organization and is scheduled to make the start tomorrow on the mound against the Nationals. Finally, there is one NBA playoff game tonight in the Western Conference Finals. The Mavericks host the Timberwolves at 7:30. The Mavs lead the series 3-0 and can close it out at home tonight. The Celtics swept the Pacers last night to clinch their spot in the finals. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Good morning, Greg Sharpe along with Ben McLaughlin. Well, today it is indeed Championship Sunday, the Big Ten Championship on the line. The Huskers against the upstart Penn State Nittany Lions, the last team to get into the field, but a team that has gotten off to a 3-0 start, and they're ready to play the Huskers here at 10 a.m.
Jackson takes a deep breath. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Kelly swings and bloops one towards shallow left. Carey backing up. He's there. He's got it. And Jackson Brockett a little emotional as he's retired 10 straight Nittany Lions to keep Nebraska in this game. Looks into Karen in the 2-2 pitch. Grounder toward short. Carey has to go a long way to his left. Fields throws out at first, and Jackson Brockett nails down another 0 to the board. He's been brilliant since the first, and he's trying to fire up his teammates to get something going offensively. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Karen swings and lifts one in the air to right. That's hit pretty well. Cesari back to the track, to the wall. We're tied in Omaha. Josh Karen with his 6th home run in the Big Ten tournament. He stands alone and has the record. Shoots one out of here to right. And it's a 1-1 game here in the inning number 7. Crowd coming alive. Brockett's pitch on the way. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. His 5th, and Brockett has worked his way through 7 in a shutdown inning for the Cornhuskers.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball ripped to left center field. That's going to be a gapper. That's going to score the run. And the Huskers have taken a 2-1 lead. Gabe Swanson with an RBI double. It's now Nebraska 2, Penn State 1 in the top of the 9th. Brett ready to deliver the first pitch. Breaking ball, that's looped in left field. Gabe Swanson is there. He squeezes it, and your Huskers are Big Ten champions. After losing game 1 Tuesday night, they come back and win 5 straight and capture the Big Ten tournament for the first time since joining the league. And the dog pile is ongoing in front of the plate.
I feel proud of our guys and thankful for them. Winning baseball games is great, winning championships is great, but when you feel like you've got a group of guys that are willing to fight for each other and love one another, that's awfully gratifying for a coach, and that's exactly what we have with this team. I mean, this is why we coach, is so we can see help create opportunities for our players that I had here, that Coach Childress was part of in years past, that Coach Harvell's been part of, and Coach Sirianni and Coach Barons, all those guys have been part of championship organizations, and to be able to help give them those opportunities, that's why I coach.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Well, how cool was that? Not only Sunday, but the entire run by Husker baseball to get to the championship and then finish it off with their first Big Ten postseason tournament title. That was awesome.
Just remarkable. What a remarkable run. And they did it so smartly, too. I mean, you and I were sitting here talking about, well, I don't know if you want to risk because you're in the postseason, but the way that guys really, when they started, they went long. I think they did it where they preserved arms for this week. But there was a fire in them once their backs were against the wall. And then things started just coming together more and more. And then it's this special role that teams, especially baseball teams, I feel like get on in the postseason here in conference tournaments that a lot of times can lead into the postseason. But you just felt it building and building. And once they got to Sunday, I was like, there's no way they're losing this game.
You and I were on the same page. I think this was the Thursday show. We talked about this. We go, you don't want to have to use guys multiple times. But because Will Walsh threw a complete game shutout, Brockett throws 8 on Sunday's game, and Christo was pretty good Saturday night when they beat Indiana for the second time. They didn't overwork really anybody, and they'll be fine come Friday for the regional with Florida. But that, and then you talked to Josh Caron last week before they went to Omaha for the tournament, and he didn't allude it to you when you were talking to him, but he had to be hurt. Well, at that point, I don't think he knew.
No, we didn't know because
he didn't know.
We were saying how crazy it was on Monday that they didn't put out the all Big Ten teams. But then it came out on Tuesday while the conference tournament had started. They put out the all-conference teams. And, he was motivated. Yes. He stuck it to those people that didn't vote for him.
What a tournament. The most outstanding player. He gets the MOP award. 6 home runs for him. And then Gabe Swanson, a guy that a year ago was terrific. He was second-team all-conference a year ago. Nebraska thought they would get big things out of Gabe all year. He slumped all season long, but then he found himself in Omaha and was bashing the ball and gets the game-winning RBI. It's almost like a storybook ending that you can't make up, and I think that's why I love sports so much, is you can't make some of this stuff up that happens.
Well, and what they did never happens.
Right.
I mean, it's very rare. I don't know when the last time it happened in the Big Ten, but it's just not something you see because it is such a long road ahead. And some teams are thinking about, regional and all of that. But you're going to hear from Drew Christo here in a little bit. And he said we were playing with house money because there was no pressure on us. We knew that we had done enough to take care of business to be able to be in the postseason, that we could just go play free and have fun. And I just, going back to Josh Caron and how incredible he was, I love every pitcher that talks about him. You can just tell how much they adore him and how highly they speak of him. And you got to imagine, I mean, he's a big reason why they have the top pitching staff in the Big Ten. How he manages everybody, and I know he handles people differently, and just but with each pitcher, how they just go on and on about him and the job that he does and how comfortable it makes them feel. It just, he deserved. I'm glad that he shined on that stage and got the recognition that he deserved and got gypped of on the all-conference squad.
Appreciate him, folks, because he's not going to be here much longer. The draft is in July. He's going to get drafted. I don't think he'll be a first, second rounder, but 4th, 5th round, I could sure see him going then. He's a big, strapping guy, throws well from behind the plate, blocks pitches, has some pop in the bat, obviously, with what he did over the weekend. He will be attractive to pro teams. They're going to like to grab a hold of him and put him on their roster.
Absolutely. And as we talked about last year at this time, the year before, they just continue to put guys in the league at pretty high rounds. And the news of Spencer Schwellenbach, I mean, that also helps recruiting. Hey, we can get you here, we can develop you. And because I don't know, would you have thought that Josh Caron would have been at this spot a year ago?
Probably not. He just developed so much in the offseason and what he did this year. He's played himself up in the draft, that's what happens. And third year in college, you've matured a little bit. And he certainly has. That's another one of the things I love about college sports is you watch these guys and gals grow up in front of your eyes. They come here and they're trying to figure out life, and then it does kind of smack them in the face a little bit, and they know they have to grow up and make some decisions on their own because mom and dad aren't right around the corner for them. And Josh has certainly been able to do that. This is Tuesday, so it was 1 week ago, Jessica, that the Huskers got bludgeoned.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Ohio State, and the venom, and you and I talked about it the next night on the show, the venom toward Will Bolt particularly was pretty strong after they got bounced by the Buckeyes in that first-round game.
It was pretty ridiculous, and I'm glad that some of those folks are eating a humble plate of crow after yesterday, and the Huskers coming back through and winning the Big Ten title. But, yeah, it was out of control, just some of the hate and anger that was coming out. And you know, first of all, the run wasn't over, but also this is a team that was, as we talked about, firmly in the postseason. I mean, no matter what was going to happen in the Big Ten tournament, it felt pretty strongly that they were going to be in. And so here's a team that's in the postseason, and you know some of the things that were being said. But I know there were some deleted tweets over the week, and I think that's good. Think before you tweet, people.
This is his 5th year. So 2020, which got banged after about 15 games because of COVID, so he didn't even get a full year. 21, the Huskers win the league. 22 was a down year. 23 was not as good as anybody hoped, but it still won 33 games. And then in 24, they finished second, and they win the postseason tournament. So in his 5, really 4 years, he's won 2 conference titles, a postseason and a regular season. I don't know how you cannot just take that and go, yeah, give me that for the next 5 years. I'll do the same thing.
Yeah, because it is hard to win baseball games. It's hard to win Big Ten titles. And I mean, and then you just look at the guys he's putting in the pros, and I understand the team wins and the championships are most important, but I just, yeah, he's a phenomenal, well, Coach Bolt is as good of a people as it comes. He's just so kind and cares so deeply about those guys. And so there's so many things that he does right that, you know, and not to mention too, you know, want to just throw this out there. Yes, Nebraska is a great place to be, but also it is hard when you're talking about the SEC and how the perception of the Big Ten and overall in baseball, 3 teams got into the postseason.
Yep.
And
11 from the SEC.
Yeah. And so there's just this perception of the Big Ten. In baseball, it's not promoted very well. There's just a lot of work to be done within this conference. I think it's even harder to be a baseball coach in the Big Ten conference and some of the other conferences too. So, you know, and he understands this program and this place. He played here. You know, he is part of this program when it was at some of its best years. So, you know, I don't know how you could ask for anybody better than Will Bolt.
I'm with you, and he runs the program the right way, and this team has a lot of people coming back, where coming into this year, there were a lot of question marks. There will not be nearly as many question marks going into the 25 season as there were in the 24 season for Husker baseball. All right, now to the regional. I like it. It's the 3rd time Nebraska baseball has been in the Stillwater Regional. They went down there in 14. They were down there in 19. Softball went last year or 2 years ago?
Last year, and they went both years.
Both years.
Yeah, they went
Stillwater.
Back-to-back years.
It's like we're kind of a magnet to go to Stillwater.
2022 and 2023.
Okay.
Yeah. So they went back-to-back years down there. But is it the same thing with baseball, though? The radius of which you can drive.
Yeah, they try to do that.
They want teams to be able to drive, but I think Norman is just outside of it.
Yeah.
So that's why the Huskers didn't go to Stillwater. But, yeah, it's a destination. If Stillwater's hosting, a lot of times if Nebraska's in, it's probably going to happen.
Probably where we're going. And I think Nebraska played OU early in the year, so that might have been a game, these guys have already played. Let's not rematch them, even though it's one game opening weekend of the season. But I don't mind the regional at all. I'm not trying to put down the Cowboys, but I think this is a regional where I didn't feel like that in 21 going to Arkansas. They were the number 1 team in the country. I feel like this team, the way they're playing, they can go win this regional.
I do too. And as we've said time and time again, when you've got the kind of starters that you have and Brett Sears and Mason McConaughey, and then shoot, if Jackson Brockett did what he did, you feel really good about your chances of, and hopefully Josh Karen can carry it on in some momentum, and Gabe Swanson and some of those guys. But I just, you know, with the arms that you have, Brett Sears can go up against the best offense in the country, and you still feel pretty good about him shutting them down.
Yeah, and Florida has a good offense. Florida barely over 500. I'm not sure they deserved a bid, but they're in the SEC, and they got a bid. Eric and Lincoln on our text line. Got to feel good for a guy like Kyle Perry. He's been here forever and seen his share of heartbreak in that moment. That's, he came back for a 6th year. I'm sure that moment and that dog pile meant the world to Kyle. I saw him down on the field after the game. He had a big old grin on his face, which he normally does. But yeah, that's you feel good for guys who come back one more year, even though they're probably ready for their life to get going, and then to be able to experience that kind of success. Dennis on our text line, hey, does Nebraska win the tournament if they won against Ohio State? I don't know. It's hard to play ifs and buts, but who knows? I mean, it didn't happen that way, so hard to kind of speculate, Dennis, on whether that would have happened there or not.
Dryce in the text said, sure, 11 SEC teams got in, but 5 of them were 13 and 17 in conference. How are you qualified for the NCAA tournament when you can't even win half your conference games?
It's so slanted in both ball bat sports, softball and baseball, to that conference.
Basketball. Women's basketball it is. Because there were almost, I think only 2 teams from the SEC didn't get into the NCAA tournament.
It just seems, there's so many advantages for these spring sports down south because of the weather. They get more exposure on the SEC network than the Big Ten teams do, where Big BTN really doesn't pick up coverage of the ball bat sports until late March. It is. There were a lot of deserving teams that I think should have got in over Florida, but they did, and that's who Nebraska will play 2 o'clock on Friday with a 1:30 pregame coverage. All right, coming up on the program, Will Bolt held a presser yesterday. We'll play you some of those clips coming up here in a minute. Jessica caught up with Drew Christo, one of the heroes from the weekend, and Dylan Carey. We'll hear those conversations. And you're going to talk to a new member of the recruiting staff for Nebraska. And this is a young lady who's loving what she's doing. Yeah,
Avery Gossett, she was a student and was working on the staff while she was graduating, and then when the position, first of all, graduate position came available, Coach Rule talked to her about it, and then I guess in March, there was a new opening, and Coach Rule brought her on full-time as a part of the staff, and she's a big part of those on-campus recruiting visits and how it's tailored to each recruit and all that. So we dive into all of that. But Avery Gossett, it was a fascinating conversation.
Great. Look forward to that. And we want to get your input. We've gotten some texts already, 402-413-2400. That's our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. They are your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back to play some of Will Bolt's press conference from yesterday. We'll do that next.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network broadcast center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Tuesday. I hope you had a great weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Weather around here was beautiful, maybe a little cool if you're going to the lake. So I think we got to the 80s most days. Camden got sunburned over his weekend, so hopefully he's putting some aloe vera on his sunburn. So we worry about that type of thing.
He said it was awesome atmosphere.
Yeah, he went up for both games Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep, both on Saturday.
Early start. You're there for the 9 a.m.
Very early.
Yeah, and the sun would have been right in your face.
And his face shows it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
A little red.
Just keep putting moisturizer on it. All right. Will Bolt met with the media yesterday. Sorry, Camden. After the announcement of the bracket, Huskers going to Stillwater. Will was asked about how much can the tournament that they just went through, how much can they, and that be a help to them as they go down to this tournament, the NCAAs?
I think it was an amazing experience for our guys. You know, you don't necessarily think about it, but then you hear some of our guys talk at the end of the tournament, and they say, "Well, that was the biggest crowd I've ever played in front of." And it's like, yeah, that's right, that's true. I mean, we had 13,000 people there, and that's certainly a huge crowd, but you don't necessarily put that into perspective until you hear that from the guys. Like, yeah, that was the biggest crowd I've ever played in front of. So from that perspective, it helps. Although most of the crowd was cheering for us, you know, in that ballpark, and hopefully we have some good travel from our fans to go to Stillwater. But just from the standpoint of, in retrospect, the way we won it was probably the best possible scenario for us to win, because we got to stay there so long and play so many games, and you just learn so much about your team with each time you take the field. And you know, having to start so many different pitchers in that tournament and having them all throw so well, they're all taking with them that confidence and that experience, that postseason feel, the butterflies, just all of that they're taking with them. this week, and you never know what could happen in a regional. I mean, you could end up having to play on Monday. So that's where that pitching depth definitely comes into play. So, and then with the extra games, we had some guys offensively that got really hot, that feel really confident, and we feel really confident as a team. And I'm proud of how we handled those big moments. There weren't any nervous mistakes in there along the way. So happy with how we handled that, obviously, and playing 6 games and in a short amount of time, three games in 24 hours, basically. I mean, that's tough to do, and to win all 3 of them, impressive by our guys. So the way that tournament unfolded, nobody would have ever chosen the first game to go the way that it did, but the response and the amount of games and the amount of experience we got after that was something we'll really be able to capture.
Yeah, and I asked, I think it was Drew about this too. You'll hear him answer about, but in a regional, or even if you make it to the College World Series, it can be a long road ahead, and you have to win a lot of games, and you might face some adversity. How do you bounce back from that? And so this whole past week showed them what they can do. They lost the first one. What do you have to do to battle back? And they took it a game at a time, and just how much fun they were having and the chemistry. I mean, you see it with baseball and softball, especially when teams start getting on a roll like that. A lot of times special things can happen, and we saw it with the Big Ten title, and who knows if they carry that into this week, what all they can accomplish. But I think they took a lot away from being able to make a run through that kind of tournament.
It's big for the program, I think, beyond just this year, because now next year you go back, a lot of these guys will be back. You're going, hey, we've done this before. We're not going to panic. We did this. We checked the box one at a time and made our way through. I think it's just it's invaluable what they were able to get done there. Okay, now you got to deal with the emotions of putting that behind you, the dog pile, all of that, the pictures, the autographs that you were signing after the game, and get ready for regional players. The coach talking about how they handle the emotions.
Yeah, that's been a trait that this team has shown throughout the entire year, is just the ability to wake up the next day and kind of just move on from whatever happened. And it's incredibly difficult to do. I mean, but part of that is not allowing emotion to drive what you do, and to allow process to be more what drives you. And so if you're emotionally driven, you're insanely worried about your own statistics and how the game went, and all the things you might have done great the day before or terrible the day before, and then you take that with you the next day. You carry that baggage, that emotional baggage that you can carry around. But when you're process driven, you don't think about the emotional side of it as much. So that's something we've really worked hard on as a group, going back to the fall. Just talking about a process and really buying into that in practice. Our process is to practice with joy and intent. Show up every day at practice, have a smile on your face, but do it with great intensity. And then we can go play a certain way on game day when we do that. And then you just turn the page and do it the next day. We've really challenged our guys to not be emotionally driven. It's intentional. So it's not easy to do, but if you do it day after day, it gives you a better chance to do it. And this team's been doing it for almost 10 months now. So it's been impressive. You got to have some maturity. You've got to have guys on the team that are bought into that, and that permeates through the clubhouse. And I always send them a text, or just after each Sunday night, I normally send a text. New week, new opportunities. To go earn what we won, and they've just been very, very driven to stay present and to be really focused on the moment.
And if you look at throughout the season, for the most part, they pretty much bounced back every time they got punched in the face.
Yep.
And so just you have heard those guys that are a part of the team, and even Coach Bolt has said it a lot on his show about the resiliency and being resilient and how they respond. And I think certainly that was on full display over the weekend. They could have gotten emotional.
Yeah.
They could have gotten emotional just getting to the Big Ten, to the title game, or knocking off Indiana the first game, because that's hard to do, beat a team twice in one day. And so, but they they closed the chapter, moved on to the next, whether it was good or bad. And I think that was a perfect example. But it's really been happening all season long.
It has. The league threw them a curve, too, by moving the start time up to 10 a.m. because Penn State was done by 4:30. Nebraska had to play Indiana then at 5, or even went later than that. I think it went to 5:30. So they weren't done till 9 or so. So they had 2 short nights of sleep to come back at it and go. I mean, that even adds to the lore of what they were able to get done up there. All right, the coach was asked about how familiar are you with the field that you're going to be facing down in Stillwater.
It's pretty offensive from what I've never seen it in person, never been there, seen it in, on TV certainly, and one of my closest friends, Justin Seeley, obviously coached there for a couple of years, and he would send me a few pictures just on, look at this place, this is incredible, but I've never been. But I think it plays pretty offensive. The south wind's going to be blowing out. The wind's always blowing in Oklahoma, and when it's hot, it's blowing from the south. So I would imagine it's going to play pretty offensive. That's what the scores have said in the postseason in that ballpark, is that it's a pretty offensive park. So I know it's one of the top facilities in the country. I'm real excited for our guys to be able to experience it.
Fairly new ballpark, just a couple years old Brat Stadium down in Stillwater. Last time Huskers played there in 2014, it was still at Allie P. Reynolds Stadium down there. Now let's get to the clip about the 4-team field that Nebraska will be battling: Florida, Niagara, and Oklahoma State. Here's the coach.
Well, I have some familiarity with our first opponent. Obviously, haven't been in the SEC for 5 years. Know Coach Sully pretty well. Not pretty well, but just know competing against him for years. And then Coach Holliday, I played against him and have known him for a long, long time. So don't know much about Niagara except that they've had a great year and they're very deserving to be there. But so yeah, it's everybody's good, and you got to play great to win, and so we're excited for the challenge.
So on the ballpark, I have actually a cousin that played there, but a lot of friends went to Oklahoma State, and they say it's just it's awesome, really nice. But I think for as much as Oklahoma State fans will show up, they're going to have to be fighting off Nebraska fans to get seats in there.
I agree.
I think Husker fans will travel down there really well.
Particularly for the weekend. I think Nebraska fans will get down there Saturday and Sunday. They may not be there on Friday afternoon, but I think they will get down there. A new tradition started this year, and it was started by the head coach, and that was taking pictures on the field with the scoreboard in the background after every win. Coach was asked about this, and here's his explanation about where this came from.
I'm not the first to ever do it. I mean, there's been others. I think I got it from Jay Johnson. I think they did it at Arizona a couple of years ago. I guess it was several years now when that team went to Omaha. But I had noticed that their team had taken a picture, and I was like, that's a pretty good idea. And it never really came back to mind until last year when KP and those guys were taking the pictures in the dugout, which I thought was fun. But this is much more team-oriented, than that. And so, I think it chronicles, like these guys were saying, that feeling you're chasing. It's not the win, it's the feeling, right? It's what the feeling that you get when you get to slap hands and you get to have the talk after the game and get fired up. And I've put Will Walsh in charge of putting the pictures up because he's one of the taller guys, and in our locker room I had him go 10 across. I said, we're going to get to 40 wins, which we didn't quite get there at the end of, but we're at 39, I guess. And so 10 across and 4 down is kind of the way that he put them up there, and I couldn't reach it, so I had Will do it. So it's been fun. I look forward to badgering Jared Meister every Monday to make sure he's gotten the pictures printed out for us, and that he can bring them over to us so we don't have to come get them from him. But yeah, it's been fun, and they're all nice quality pictures, and it's something that I've enjoyed seeing every day in the locker room.
I love that idea, and the fact that 40 wins is that mark that every baseball team really strives to get to, and to be able to see it, when you go into the locker room day by day and you see it kind of continue to accumulate, and as they said, what they're chasing, and what a great idea. And this team just seems to have so much fun together. They seem really close, and they feed off of each other in that way, and that's just so important this time of year. But they just seem to really love each other.
Huskers, Gators, Friday at 2, again 1:30 for pregame coverage. Folks, if problem gambling is burning up your money, there is a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. We're back to hear from Drew Christo. We'll do that next.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the RMA 460V lawnmower battery set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK30 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day-by-day donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Don't pay retail for your diamond engagement ring or gift. Come to CleanOrigin.com. Founded by a leading family in the diamond industry for more than a century, we're experts in lab-grown diamonds because that's all we do. Clean Origin, the only diamond jewelers who give you a 100-day, no questions asked return on your purchase. Head to CleanOrigin.com or one of our retail stores and mention code Radio10 for 10% off your purchase. That's CleanOrigin.com, code Radio10.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up with the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee is an official grocer partner of Husker Athletics and your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you on a Tuesday night. We continue talking Husker baseball as they made the regionals. Yesterday, Jessica had a chance to catch up with one of the pitching heroes from the weekend, Drew Christo.
Well, how does it feel? You guys sunk in a little bit after you celebrated to be able to win a Big Ten title, to do something that no other baseball team here in this program has been able to do.
Yeah, the last 24 hours have been pretty full of a lot of emotions and all good ones. So it's definitely been a lot, but, an exciting 24 hours, so very grateful.
After you guys lose that first game, what was the message that, hey, we still can have a chance to win this thing, we want to go win this thing? Because you guys were already firmly in the postseason. You didn't have to go win that title.
Yeah, we knew we were playing with house money, which, really frees you up when you're playing baseball. Coming into a tournament setting, you have one hiccup and that's all you get. And so we've been doing it all year. I think if you look back at the schedule, anytime we have a setback, the response has been, pretty immediate. And so we knew we could fight and we trusted, what we've been doing all year, and that, what led us to the final game.
For the pitching staff, too, knowing that it was going to take a lot of arms to be able to do what you guys did, what was the message, what was the mindset for you guys, knowing that a lot of you guys are going to be relied upon? Yeah,
we're pretty confident in the depth of our bullpen and our pitching staff. So we were really confident that, however many games it takes, we're going to be, in a pretty good spot, regardless of if we play, the minimum amount of games or the max amount of games. And so the mentality for the pitchers is always just, next man up, one inning at a time, and hand the ball off when you're done. And so the confidence in the guy who's in front of you and the guy behind you has been there, and I think that led us to success.
You seem to have taken it up another notch here recently. What's gone into your passion and confidence here these last few weeks? Yeah,
Coach Childress has just been, continually encouraging me, to be that confident self on the mound and pitch with attitude and aggression. I think that's, when I'm at my best. And so, it started probably that Indiana series when that ball started rolling, and then just, having that demeanor every time I'm on the mound with confidence in the guys that are going to make plays behind me.
What wires you that way where, you're passionate, you're fiery, and I think the guys feed off of that? Where does that come from?
I don't know. I think that just comes from my love to compete, and whatever I do, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability and have a lot of fun doing it. And so whether I'm on the bench or on the field, I'm going to be screaming and having a good time and being passionate about the game just because I love playing it so much.
Just seems like so much fun of a group for you guys, and you're supportive of each other, and you don't always see that. So to be a part of this baseball team this year, how special has that been, and where does this team, I guess, rank among some of your favorites?
Yeah, it's really a unique team. The word that I used yesterday, I think, to describe it was just joyful. It's been a joyful season. Coach Bolt said it to us after the game, like the whole year, no one cares who gets the credit for the game. Like, the next man up, guys come to the plate, doesn't matter who it is. Guy gets a close, guy gets a win, doesn't matter who it is. We're all in it for the team, and I think that's what makes it so special, just because we care truly about each other and not the individual.
Now, you guys have closed the chapter on last week, but all the adversity you went through, the different kind of scenarios that you fought through, you dealt with, how can that help you guys moving forward into a regional where you could be throwing a lot of different scenarios just like you did last week? Yeah,
that tournament setting was huge for us experience-wise. We don't have a lot of people on this team with regional experience. You got Kyle Perry because he'd been here for 10 years. But yeah, it really it shows you what a regional setting is going to be like. We talked about it at the start of the Big Ten tournament. The way that's set up is if you win your side of the bracket, that would be like winning a regional. And so that was really the mentality going into the Big Ten tournament, since we knew we were going to be playing some more baseball. So it was really huge to get that experience and play a lot of days and play a lot of games, and really get a sense of what that would be like.
Can you describe the performance from Josh Karen over the last week?
I would say heroic. Unbelievable week for Josh, and I'm so happy for him. Being here three years with him, I've kind of had a behind-the-scenes look into everything that he's put in, effort-wise into his game, both as a catcher and as a hitter, and to see it to come to fruition on the biggest stage was awesome for him.
So for the pitching staff going into this week, how do you guys feel physically, knowing that, again, you might have a heavy load? How do you guys feel health-wise going into this regional?
Yeah, actually, I think we saved a lot more bullets than I was kind of expecting at the, we had some pretty crazy performances out of Walsh and out of Brockett to really get us deep into games to where, the bullpen arms really weren't that taxed. And so we feel pretty confident, those starting guys are used to that workload, and they're going to get, their normal week of rest before going back in. Sears might have a little bit of a quicker turnaround than normal, but he's just going to use that as his bullpen day, and he'll be ready to rock. So we feel pretty good health-wise going into the weekend.
What does it do to have a guy like Brett Sears set the tone for you guys?
Yeah, you start a weekend off with Brett on the mound. There's no better way to start. He can take you into the ninth inning of a game with no runs, and that really frees you up to get that win on Friday for just to set you up the rest of the weekend. Sets the bullpen up, sets the hitters up, gets everybody's confidence going for the rest of the weekend. And so it's huge to have a guy like that, and he's an absolute workhorse.
For you personally, how special is it to get this program back into the postseason?
It's been the coolest thing that I've been able to do. Coming in here, growing up in Nebraska, I was always a fan of everything Husker. It was my dream to be a Husker baseball player, Husker athlete, and so to be able to come in and, been at the highs and the low of it as a Husker baseball player, it's been really rewarding to be on this end of it.
Going down to Stillwater, and I know you guys have said it doesn't matter who you're running up against, who you're playing, who's in the other dugout, but what is it going to take for this team to keep it rolling here headed down to Stillwater? Yeah, I think it's going to just be, continuing to do what we do best. As soon as we get outside of that and try to make the moment bigger, that's when you run into trouble. And so if we just stick to what we've been doing, competing, playing for each other, and, just working hard, I think that'll set us up the best. You expecting a lot of red down there in Stillwater?
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of red. Let's see if we can get another 13,000. Appreciate
your time.
Thank you.
How about that? Just take the whole 13,000 that was in Omaha, travel down to Stillwater, and overtake that stadium. But, I liked a few things that he said, but one of the things about which we talked about, they didn't use as many bullets as they thought. So they collectively, as a pitching staff, feel really good going into this, and a lot of teams might have had to use a lot more arms than maybe they felt like. But I also think they've got a lot, especially those ones that pitched in the games going into it, is a lot of confidence for the starters. Jackson, of course, Brett Sears, but a lot of those guys that came in and were huge. Will Walsh have to feel pretty good going into this.
Yeah, and nobody got overworked. That's the key. And because of what Brockett and Walsh were able to do, and Drew did a nice job in there as well. Sarpy County, where great food, drink, shopping, concerts, and fun await you. Stay, play, plan your getaway. Go Sarpy.com. We're back to wrap up hour one next.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Elevate your drive with Woodhouse Buick. Plus, with our current offers going on now, you'll save even more. Receive up to $5,750 off MSRP plus 0.9% APR for 36 months on the 2023 Buick Envision Avenir all-wheel drive. With approved credit, must finance with GM Financial. Must currently own or lease a 2010 or newer non-GM vehicle to qualify. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires June 3rd, 2024. See dealer for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSharpe.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Rhonda Revelle had a good weekend. She picked up a set of twins who won a couple state titles at Scott High School up in Omaha. They then went to Arkansas out of high school, but they're coming home. And I guess maybe, is it a prerequisite that you have to have sisters on Husker softball?
Right.
I mean, now they do. Hannah and Lauren Kamenzund, I'm not sure if I got that totally right, Kamenzund, are coming back. This is a good pickup.
Yes, really, really good. They needed to address some needs in the portal, had a huge class going out, a lot of experience at that, and some of the leaders. So getting some experience that's played on this level, and I know they're really excited. One's a pitcher, one's maybe a catcher, but sounds like can play anywhere, and maybe the pitcher too can also provide a little bit, maybe like Jordy Ball, where can maybe hit some base run, all that kind of stuff, but really athletic. And I love what we're seeing from these Nebraska kids, and a lot of them are familiar with each other. We saw Jordy posting on her social media about how excited she is about these players coming back, and it just a lot of them grew up playing together, and the fact that they want to kind of come back home, it just means a little something more. But I love it. I think it's really special, and it just goes to show you. I know that Nebraska gets a lot of praise and love for the volleyball products that they produce and get to the next level, but they've also produced some really great softball talent over the last few years. And the fact that a few of them are coming back here to Nebraska, I love that.
It's a great example of why you don't burn a bridge.
Yeah.
Meaning you want to get all of them out of high school, but if they go somewhere, wish them well and tell them things change, we're here. I think this is great.
Yeah.
Good job by Ron and that staff. It's good.
And like I said, too, I mean, they grew up playing together. They're familiar with each other. And so I just think it's really special. And two big needs there. And I think they're maybe going to try to address a couple more needs, maybe another pitcher, maybe, we got to find a shortstop, right? With Billy Andrews being done. So a couple more I think they'll try to add, but those two certainly are two huge gets, and we might hear some more news coming out this week.
Yeah, congratulations, Coach Revelle and the staff. That's a huge get. A couple of gals who've been playing in the SEC with Arkansas, which is a really good program. Woodhouse Auto Family, there, your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Boy, the NBA conference finals have been all one-sided.
Terrible.
The games have been okay, but the same team wins every night.
I know. I was hoping that the Minnesota-Dallas series would be a little bit more competitive than it is and maybe go to 7, but Dallas might run away with it. But hopefully the NBA finals might be a little bit more competitive.
Yep. Dallas can close it out tonight, and they're at home against the Timberwolves. Last night, the Celtics back to the NBA championship after beating Indiana.
You know what's also sad, too, about this run not extending is you're getting fewer and fewer games with the NBA on TNT crew.
That's right. Exactly right.
This is their last series, right?
It's all
Probably.
over. Hey, if problem gambling is burning up your money, there's a way out. Help is free, confidential for Nebraskans and their families. No judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. Fast first hour. We got more coming up in hour 2. We'll talk about Husker football recruiting. We'll do that, and Dylan Carey stops by as well. All that in hour 2. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all-electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Yesterday, Nebraska baseball was selected to the Stillwater Regional, hosted by the 11th overall seed, Oklahoma State. Coach Bolt spoke to the media yesterday about a variety of different topics, including what the team can take away from their run in Omaha.
You just understanding that you got to go earn it. You got to go earn it every day, and that's the thing that we're trying to think about pushing buttons with the team and the message and talking. That seems to really resonate with this group. Is just the rent's due every day. You got to show up and you got to earn it. So that's the thing. I mean, you got to get the work done in the cages, on the field, with your defensive reps and, their bullpen sessions and how you play catch and just all of it, just trying to stay, like I said, process driven and be able to keep it going.
The Huskers will play the 3 seed Florida Gators Friday at 2 with pregame coverage beginning at 1:30 on the HRN. In other Husker news, Nebraska softball received commitments out of the transfer portal yesterday from a pair of twins. Lauren and Hannah Kamenzind transferred from Arkansas to the Huskers and are from Omaha. Lauren is a righty utility player, while Hannah is a left-handed pitcher that went 9-1 with a 3.07 ERA this past season. Both will have 2 years of eligibility remaining. And former Husker pitcher Spencer Schwellenbach got the call to the big leagues today. Schwellenbach is a member of the Atlanta Braves organization and is scheduled to make the start tomorrow on the mound against the Nationals. Finally, there is one NBA playoff game tonight in the Western Conference Finals. The Mavericks host the Timberwolves at 7:30. The Mavs lead the series 3-0 and can close it out tonight at home. The Celtics swept the Pacers last night to clinch their spot in the finals. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
And they 1-0. Swung on, hit pretty well towards the left field, and it's going to sail out of here onto the concourse behind 126. Josh carrying it with a 3-run bomb, and it's 3-1 Huskers.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball ripped to left center field. That's going to be a gapper. That's going to score the run, and the Huskers have taken a 2-1 lead. Gabe Swanson with an RBI double. It's now Nebraska 2, Penn State 1 in the top of the 9th. Brett ready to deliver the first pitch. Breaking ball, that's looped in left field. Gabe Swanson is there. He squeezes it, and your Huskers are Big Ten champions. After losing game 1 Tuesday night, they come back and win 5 straight and capture the Big Ten tournament for the first time since joining the league. And the dog pile is ongoing in front of the plate.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And we're back, hour number 2, Sports Nightly here on a Tuesday night. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend. We were off last night. Our crew needed a little downtime, so we took last night off. Back with you here tonight. Carla on our text line said a huge thank you to Greg, Ben, David, the production staff for the wonderful coverage of the baseball tournament. Congrats to Coach Bolt, all the coaches and team for a terrific comeback and fight to win the tournament. You make all of Husker Nation very proud. And Mr. Karen, keep that bat hot and continue to prove the naysayers way wrong. Thank you, Carla. Always love Carla's text.
I know. She always has a magical way of uplifting us. She throws in a compliment, but then also has a great take, too, because I agree, Josh Karen, keep it rolling.
Yeah. Art, a little different take out in L.A. Congratulations, Huskers. I'm very proud of the team. Josh was awesome, but my opinion, Gabe Swanson should have been the MOP of the tournament. He made that amazing first catch of the game, had the winning RBI, and caught the winning out, not to mention how great he played the entire tournament. I think he might have been number 2 in the voting, but the 6 home runs, tournament record, hard to ignore that for Josh.
Well, and at massive times, a lot. You know how many of them were when they absolutely had to have it? Because the one on Sunday tied it at 1-1, and then it seemed like every time I turned on my social media, he was hitting a home run. But yeah, he was unbelievable. It had Josh not done what he done, probably Gabe would have been a shoe-in for that.
And Gabe made all-tournament, so the Huskers were very well represented in the all-tournament. Will Walsh should have. He threw a complete game against Indiana on Saturday. So the Huskers had a handful of guys make the all-tournament team. Sarpy County, folks, that's where great food, drinking, shopping, concerts, and fun await you. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. Last week, Husker football made some of their recruiting staff available for the media to come talk to them, and Jessica had a chance to catch up with the Director of Recruiting Operations. She's fairly new to Lincoln, Avery Gossett. Here's part of that conversation.
Tell, for people listening in that might not know, what goes into your role? What are all, I know you have a lot of responsibilities, but if you could just describe it, how would you describe your role?
Yeah, I am the planner and logistics of all visits on campus. So it's been kind of cool because in my GA position, I helped with a lot of the personnel side of things. So I helped with not contacting, but setting up contact calendars for our now DPP, Keith Williams. So I kind of had some of these connections already with some of these athletes, but really it's just reaching out to families and these athletes and getting their visit completely set up. I do booking for planes and car services and get all of that information and then reach out to all of our vendors. There's a lot that goes into this, decorating the facility and making sure that everything looks top notch, and we've got things around. We do a lot of snacks around the facility for the visits when they're on campus. And then just, that itinerary. So working with not only our coaching staff and our support staff to get meetings, but like with Dennis LeBlanc at academics and doing a campus tour. And I try to get these athletes over to their prospective colleges so they get a little bit more of that, what their day in the life would look like as what they want to major in. So it's a lot of working with people around town, which is really fun.
Wow. So you had mentioned Vince, and I wanted to go back to him and how important he's been, and what were some of the big things that he really taught you that you thought, man, I really like this. I maybe want to stick around with this.
Yeah, so Vince came, he came like a year after I had started my student working position, maybe not even a year, maybe a half a year. And he's just so organized. He knows what he's doing. He's been in the business for a while. And it's been cool to have him back and just like even his input from the first time he was here. So he's very organized and very logistical, which has helped me a lot. We work pretty similarly. The way that our brains work is very similar. So it's nice to be able to have that and lean on him and get feedback from him and take ideas from him. I mean, his itineraries that he would make are all very detailed out and full of everything you could possibly need to know. So it's been great learning from him.
So you reach out, you try to tailor the experiences to the certain student athletes, from, like you mentioned, going to their school, their prospective school that they might want to graduate from, but even to the type of food that they like. Yeah. So take me through how do you go about getting that information, getting to know how you can make it special for each recruit that comes on campus?
Yeah, so I usually I'll text the athlete and shoot a text kind of explaining who I am and tell them I'm setting up their visit. And so I ask for some of their favorite snacks and drinks and food. Usually I'll try to hop on the phone with them just because phone conversations are a little bit easier than text. And then I just write everything down and tailor it out to that. And usually there's a couple guys that like similar things, so it works out really well. We had a recruit in a couple weeks ago that loved Italian food. So what we did for that was we catered in Italian food for lunch at Coach's Loft, which was fun. So it's just like little aspects and things like that we can personalize sort of for the guys and their families coming on campus. I think helps us a lot.
So Coach Rula said that he's a foodie, and a lot of his staff, I mean, Ed Foley's a foodie. Are you a foodie? I feel like you have to be if you're dealing have with to be. All this food stuff.
Yeah, you definitely do have to be. It's turned me into a foodie. I eat a lot more than I should be eating, and don't probably get in the gym as much as I should with the amount of food that I eat. But it's fun. It's been really fun to try different places around town. I've tried so many different places that I didn't even know were a thing before getting into this role, and just I'm always looking for new spots and new places to use and new people to work with, and so it's really fun.
Can you give us a perspective of this coaching staff and how they are as recruiters? It just seems, they're so genuine when you just talk to them outside of being recruited. And I know that a lot of the recruits that I talk to on signing day go back to that. It's just so important, those relationships that they build. So when you're in it, embedded in it, and you're seeing this coaching staff interact with the recruits, what's your perspective of that and how elite, I guess, of a recruiting staff this is?
Yeah, it's really fun. Like, our recruiting weekends are so much fun with this staff. They bring their families around. Everyone is involved, which is really cool, and I think that's what makes it so special. I know everybody says, we always are saying that it's a real family here, but I think that that's the biggest thing, is that this coaching staff and this support staff and everyone involved is like one big family, and we just open our arms and welcome everybody that comes to campus, and it's just like they're part of it, so I think that that's what's so special about this staff and their recruiting, is it doesn't feel like it's forced. It's all natural connections. It's all just very organic.
When you go through your work in as a student, and then you think, maybe I'd like to do this, but Coach Rule and the staff comes in and you start having these conversations with Coach Rule. What was it that sold you on Coach Rule, the future of this program, where it's headed, that you wanted to be a part of it?
Yeah, I think that his vision for everything, I mean, he's just an outstanding man in general. His family is amazing. I spend a ton of time with Miss Julie and the girls, and it's just, they're so family oriented, and they make everybody feel at home and welcome. And Coach has said to me multiple times too, which I appreciate, is he's not gonna sit here and tell me that everything I'm doing is great and I have everything, he's like, I want to push you and make you better. And so I'm gonna tell you when you're coming short or when there's something that I think needs improvement, which I really appreciate. And I think that that's something that stood out to me as important. I mean, I want somebody that's going to continue to help me grow and be better.
Yeah.
And I found that in him.
Great perspective. I did want to go back to the recruiting visits, and we had Kristen Coggin and in here a few months ago, and she was talking about how they have cooking demonstrations sometimes for recruiting visits. Just those unique things that you do, how have you found, what's been the feedback from families and these recruits when they leave, and how it maybe compares to some of the other places they've been?
Yeah, so Kristen, as we all know, is a top-notch nutritionist. I mean, her program and what she runs is crazy. It's awesome. And so it's really important for us to showcase that to the recruits, because when these recruits are coming here, when they get here in the fall as a freshman, or when they get here in January, it's like all new. They don't have, a lot of them don't know how to cook. A lot of them, it's like Kristen is their mom away from home. So it's important that we showcase that on the visits and let her get some time to demonstrate what her and her staff do to these recruits and their families, because it's a big component of what they do when they get here. And everybody loves it. I mean, the cooking demos that we have that are mandatory for freshmen when they get here, the way that our nutrition staff will go out and go grocery shopping with the guys to make sure that they're getting the right things that they need. Every parent and recruit is like, wow, that's awesome. Because otherwise these guys are gonna show up and they're gonna go to the store and they're gonna end up with a bunch of junk food. We all know it. So yeah, it's been really cool to work with her and get her involved in that recruiting process. And that's something that Coach is huge on too, is he wants everyone involved and everyone's work to be showcased.
So have you found then that when people leave here, they're like, oh wow, this is unique, or this is special, that we got maybe things that weren't done other places, that really they appreciate those details that we're talking about throughout this conversation?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people will talk about that. And it's also fun. So we did a cooking demo for our junior days this past January. And so then it's really fun when these guys are coming back on campus and they cooked pasta. And I'll be like, oh, have you been making your pasta? Like, you're going to have to go home, and there's going to be one night a week that you're going to have to cook. So it just also just brings that like there's always a conversation piece around food. One thing that Coach always says, and Kristen always says, is like you're breaking bread, literally. So it just breaks the ice. It's something that's good and fun, and everybody loves food. Everybody loves, it's just a fun activity. We like to make it a little bit of a competition too between the recruits, and it's something that they all remember, especially if they have younger siblings that come. We have them join in on the cooking demos too, so it's really fun.
Nebraska's been a program really, especially over the last couple of years since Coach Rule's gotten here, just continues to grow momentum, and people are talking about it across the country. What do you think has been the biggest key to that and filling this momentum and recruiting and having all these kids that want to come see what Nebraska's all about?
Yeah, I think that Coach Rule's vision and this whole coaching staff, the vision that they have for the trajectory of the program and what they say isn't just said, it's shown. I mean, they've got proof to show it. They've got, our practices are all, when a recruit comes to practice, they're like, wow, this is one of the best run practices I've seen. There's so much going on, but it's just so organized and also beneficial. Everybody's getting reps. Everybody's getting everything that they need to succeed. And so I think it's just really been that we've got the backing to show that we're capable of doing what we're speaking of doing.
Very cool. When an official visit comes in, they get the offer, and then they commit. How rewarding is that for you, being that all the stuff that goes into what you do to get them here?
Yeah, it is really rewarding. It's really fun. I mean, like I said, with my sales background, I love talking to people. I love making connections with people, and I've made so many different connections, and now it's really fun because most of the team that we have, I've been here recruiting, whether it was a student worker or GA or now in this role that I'm in now, but it's so fun to have them all move in, and moms always are reaching out like, oh, we can't wait to see you, and it's just really fun. It's like a big reunion once everybody gets back.
So people always want to ask about the facility. How has that impacted recruiting, and what are some of your favorite highlights of the new building?
Yeah, so it's been really fun now being able to actually walk these recruits and families through the new facility and see it being used. For a while there, we were walking through just construction, and it was like, use your imagination, and which was also really fun, but it's been really fun to see it come together and have people on campus multiple times and be able to see the whole process of it all being built. But the facilities that we have now and the way that they're able to like support and benefit our athletes is incredible, and everybody is always talking about it. Our recovery area is second to none, and the guys have access to that whenever, and our weight room is also just top tier. I mean, we have recruits come in and they're like, this is the best weight room I've ever seen. And so, I mean, although it's a building and it doesn't really make what you are going to be, you have to put in the work, obviously, as a player to be able to get to where you want to be. But the accommodations that we have here and the facilities are really just going to be able to help these guys get to where they do need to be and where they want to be. I would say my favorite part is the walkthrough room's really cool. That's a really cool thing to be able to point out and say that we have. Not many places have anything near that. And then I also really like the recovery area. Everyone always loves the dry float pods is something that we're usually able to let recruits test out, and they love it.
It's like a spa type area.
It really is. You walk in there and the water's running, and it literally sounds like a spa too.
Who are some of the women that have influenced you in your career, in your life, that just have really made a big impact on you?
Dr. Elza, I mean, she's one of a kind. She is one of the most supportive and strong women I know. I've learned so much from her in the short amount of time that I've known her. I sit down and talk to her all the time. Kristen is another one that's been so dominant in such a male-dominated industry. And so it's just, I mean, having those two right by my side to work with at all times is really cool and really awesome that I have them to lean on, and we've got each other. Other than that, I mean, my family, my mom is very supportive of me. She's always reaching out. She's always sending little messages of encouragement and how proud she is. And it's just little things like that that I think like keep you going, kind of.
What would young Avery, 7, 8, 9-year-old Avery, a Husker fan, think about where you are today?
She would think I was pretty cool, probably. I was the young Husker fan. Me and my brother would make my parents go down at the third quarter of every game and stand at the tunnel so that we could get gloves and autographs and all of that for after the game. So young Avery would think that the old Avery was pretty cool.
Do you ever just sit back and appreciate where you are?
I do all the time. Every day I'm like, I am so blessed and so thankful to be here. There's nothing else I could think of wanting to do right now either at this stage in my life.
How cool is that, to be able to be a fan, to have that experience, and then now to be helping continue to pour into this program and bring on the next recruits? But it's fascinating, all the moving parts that go into this big recruiting machine that we've seen just does not stop around here.
Right. They're always on the go. Now, I think they're a little bit of downtime this week, but whew.
And it's about to pick back up, but...
Got the Friday night camps coming up soon.
Yes, camps, visits, official visits, unofficial visits, but, just the part about tailoring each visit, just those little touches and how you're making it special and setting apart when you come here, and what are the things that we can do that applies to this recruit, and not everybody has the same visit, and I also like to, we dive into this, and that was just a portion of the conversation. I'll post the full conversation as a part of Husker Women's Wednesday tomorrow morning, but just the recruiting of whether it's a 5-star or whether it might be someone that you discover at a camp, but maybe isn't as highly recruited. They treat everybody the same, and we've heard Coach Rule say that time and time again, that there's a lot of different, they don't care as much about the stars. It's how are you going to fit into this program. But, as we hear the assistant coaches and some of the staff, they echo a lot of the same things that Coach Rule says, and certainly Avery was that way as well.
The messaging trickles on down.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yep, it does.
Cool stuff. Good to hear from Avery there. Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee is an official grocer partner of Husker Athletics, and it's your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, and happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. All right, 402-413-2400. The text lines, the phone lines open for you if you want to be a part of the program here on a Tuesday night. We're back with more, including a conversation with Dylan Carey next.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Discover the future of luxury with the Cadillac Lyriq at Woodhouse Cadillac. Experience the thrill of instant torque and seamless acceleration, all with zero emissions. Lease a 2024 Cadillac Lyriq Tech all-wheel drive for $399 a month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year. Shop all our Lyriq inventory in-store or online today at Woodhouse Cadillac, where innovation meets elegance. With approved credit, $3,000 down payment plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 6/3/2024. See dealer for additional details.
We are back inside the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you on this Tuesday, short week after the holiday weekend. I'm sure a lot of people today, 3-day weekends are great, but then to get back in it on Tuesday, it can be kind of hard. Like, ooh, I like sleeping in the last couple of days.
I can't keep my days straight. I'm like, what day is today?
Right.
When the Monday's off, I'm like, my whole week is thrown off.
Does throw you off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Huskers are headed to Stillwater. They'll be bussing down tomorrow. They've got a mandatory practice media session in Stillwater before the Friday regional gets going. Yesterday, Jess got a chance to catch up with Husker shortstop Dylan Carey.
Here with Dylan Carey. Well, now that it's been, 24 hours since you guys took the field in the Big Ten tournament, how does it feel that you guys brought home a title and that trophy back to Lincoln?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. I'm so pumped for the guys, I'm pumped for the team, and pumped for the opportunity to do that. But right now we're focused on, Florida, now knowing that we're going to play them. So we're excited for the opportunity and ready to go.
What went into the run? I mean, nobody, I'm sure, outside of the locker room expected you guys to be able to be the ones holding up that trophy. So what did you guys put together that allowed you to do what not very many teams can do?
Yeah, I mean, we had trust in each other. I think that's the one where we kept on speaking as a team, trust in our pitchers, trust in our defense, trust in our hitters, like everything. Trust is the main thing that we focused on. And I think that's what led us to winning the Big Ten tournament. So.
Sometimes in the postseason, too, you might have to win this amount of games again. So how good is that for this team to know what it takes to get through it and to find a way to win at the end?
I mean, it's a big advantage. It shows that we're able to, deal with adversity. You know, losing that first game was tough, but we knew that we could play free, knowing that it's a kid's game at the end of the day. So having that opportunity was awesome.
For this group and, having the support of Husker fans, they're going to travel too. What has that meant to you, and knowing that no matter where you go in the postseason, you're going to have that kind of support?
I mean, it makes it a lot easier, I'll say that. We have the best fans in the country, so really enjoy having them at the games. And I think we had like 13,000 at the Big Ten tournament, the championship game, so that was unbelievable. So pumped for that, and thankful for the fans we have.
You guys wanted to get back to the postseason. You did. What does it mean to this group to be able to get Nebraska baseball back in that field?
Honestly, it means the world. We're a great team and a great organization. So to get back to the tournament is big for us, and it's big for the group of guys that we got. Knowing that we've been working our butts off all year, so getting the opportunity to win the Big Ten tournament and then go and compete in the regional, that's awesome.
I want to give you a second to brag on the pitching staff, knowing what kind of load they were going to have to take going through that tournament. Just for so many guys to step up and deliver and to be able to set the tone for you guys, how important was it, and how big is that moving forward into the postseason? Yeah, I mean, the confidence in our pitching staff is unbelievable right now. It makes us as position players a lot easier, knowing that, if we don't score a run, we're going to go get a shutout inning or shutdown inning, so we can go score some runs in the next inning or later on. So having the confidence within our pitching staff is huge. But moving into regionals, our guys, they're all feeling confident, and, confidence is the biggest thing when it comes to a team's success. So moving forward, I think that, if they can continue to do the same thing they're doing, our hitters will have the same confidence that we've had all year. The camaraderie, the chemistry, how vital, how important has that been to this group and what you guys have done so far this season? Yeah, I mean, it all started in the fall. The chemistry has been there since the beginning, so having the opportunity to play with these guys is unreal, and just so blessed. All right, what goes into maybe continuing this hot streak into going down to Stillwater? Yeah, I mean, trusting the process, continuing to do what we know how to do, and that's, show up every day and putting the sweat in the bucket, doing whatever it takes to win. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much. During his press conference, he cracked a few jokes. He seems like he's got a pretty good personality. He does. Kind of a silent assassin. Yeah. With that humor. A little bit like the guy over here. Oh, like Cole, yeah. A little bit like that. It was because they were joking about, he said, Coach Bolt said we can only celebrate this 5 minutes, and Coach Bolt was like, I mean, you could celebrate it longer than that. He goes, okay, 10 minutes, so it's pretty funny. But I didn't realize how fun of a personality he has. They do some interesting things as a program. They require everybody to eat breakfast together, even though they don't practice until the afternoon. But Will Bolt says, we lift some in the morning, but he goes, I want the day to be started with the team together. Not a lot of teams do that when you practice later in the day. It's an interesting little wrinkle that they put together. Well, we just heard Avery Gossett talking about that. We've heard Coach Rule and Kristen Coggan with nutrition with football about breaking bread with your brothers, and that's just a way that really brings people together over food when you're eating meals together, a team meal. So I think that has proven to be pretty important for this baseball team and also the football team as well. Very, very valuable. Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to text or call. Have more of the program, and when we come back, we'll talk about how the basketball world lost one of its biggest personalities overnight.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out, and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates may apply and may vary by carrier. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
It's Jeep season at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Right now, lease the 2024 Jeep Compass Limited for just $169 a month for 27 months and 10,000 miles per year. Your trusted Jeep dealer since 1991. This is Woodhouse. With approved credit, tax title license extra. For well-qualified returning lease customers, $1,999 plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Retired courtesy vehicle stock number BC240453. Offer expires 5/31/24. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, springtime in Sarpy County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Well, yesterday we heard of the passing of Bill Walton, legendary NBA player, maybe even a bigger name in the broadcasting world after his playing days ended. There are a lot of people that think Bill Walton might have been the best college basketball player they ever saw. He was dominant at UCLA, helped the Portland Trail Blazers win their only NBA title, helped the Celtics win a title later on, and then became kind of a folk hero on the broadcasting games. I really enjoyed him. I've got buddies who can't stand him. I thought he was fun and entertaining to listen to.
I didn't love listening to him in game as the color analyst, but when they would have him on studio shows, he was always a delight to listen to. But it just, I didn't know he was sick or getting close to the end, but just seeing the outpouring of the stories about him, you can just tell how well he was loved in so many aspects, from as a player to when he did get in to the broadcasting world, and just how kind he was. It just, again, speaks to the legacy that he left, just how many people have responded, but definitely a legend for sure.
Just a guy that had fun with whatever he did.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you cannot find that kind of intoxicating to be around a guy that just has fun.
Yeah, I mean, he was hilarious, and you'd listen to him and what is he talking about?
Right,
you know,
where's he
but
going with this?
You know, he was free and enjoyed it and was just trying to have fun. But I liked listening to him more when he was on games that were not the teams that I worked for.
Right.
You know, because he sometimes can get off the rails a little bit and tell some crazy stories, but that's also part of the lure because he has been through so much in this game.
And part of it too, it was a lot of Pac-12 games, so they're late at night.
Yeah.
So if you're a basketball fan and you're in the Eastern time zone or even the Central, you're trying to stay awake, maybe to watch a game. He could pull you in, and you're like, okay, I can have some fun with this broadcast because I'm laughing. I'm laughing at what he's talking about and what he's trying to do. So he'll be missed, 71 years old. Just a delight, and again, a terrific college basketball player for the legendary John Wooden at UCLA, and had a pretty good NBA career. His body broke down on him. He really had problems with his ankles, his knees, everything. But, yeah, he battled his way on through. All right, 402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program. You can call and talk to Jessica and I, not Cole so much, but we'd love to talk to you, or fire off a text as well. As we hang on, Husker Dan is filling up Cole's bucket with stuff right now.
Cole's just been chatty Cathy over there on the phones.
All right, let's go to Husker Dan up in West Point. Dan, we want to talk to you. You're ruining all your good stuff with Cole. Talk to Jess and I.
I know. Hey, I was at the game.
I have to get to a break to get you on.
You know what? I was at the game. I kind of lost my voice, so I was one of those 13,000 people that were there, and I was there Friday, and then I told my wife, I said, I don't care how early it is that we're going, but we're going to be there and we're going to support the Huskers. And it's just, wow, what a miracle run. And Greg, after the game, I saw you down on the field, and I couldn't get close to you because all the kids were getting autographs from the ball players, from Josh Karen and stuff. So I really wanted to meet you personally, but I just couldn't, and that's too bad. But someday, maybe.
Well, I'm glad you got a chance to go. It was really a fun environment, and what Husker fans will remember that weekend for a long, long time.
Oh my goodness, that was just electric. It was so loud. In the seventh inning, it was so hot. We had to go up. I was on the third base line, and 18 rows up, and it got so hot we had to go up underneath the concourse and then watch the rest of the game. But oh my goodness, it was so loud. Oh goodness, you know what? For them players, it was loud in the concourse in the stadium, but I don't know how them players, they had to feel it being a lot louder on the field. I don't know.
Do you think that was probably the biggest crowd Penn State's played in front of, too?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think their pitcher was fueled by it, too.
Yeah. We've had
Jessica, I'm going to ask you.
Crowd. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Greg. Jessica, you're kind of familiar with Oklahoma. So, Nebraska, every time we were in Oklahoma, when we were in the Big 12, when we played Oklahoma State in the Big 12, we actually had some good luck. We've actually had really, really good luck in that stadium. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I'm actually going down to Oklahoma this weekend, so I might try to pop on by, but I have not. I've driven by the new stadium several times. It is really nice. I've heard great things, but I'm with Greg. I kind of like the draw, and I think at this point, this team will go face anybody. I mean, I feel like they're not really scared of any kind of challenge. They probably feel like they're confident enough that they can go compete with just about anybody.
Was the old field called the Brickyard?
That's the one in Oklahoma City. That's in
Bricktown.
Bricktown.
Bricktown Ballpark, and it was Alec P. Reynolds, right?
Ali P was the old one.
Yeah, the old one.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but the new one I
So we
heard
got a
is
new field.
really nice.
Oh, wow.
Dan, I was not happy with the league. I did not like the moving the game back 4 hours. I understand they're really
goodness, I
concerned
didn't
about
either.
weather. Move it back 2. Put it at noon. I think that cost us a couple thousand fans that would have been there if it had been at noon on Sunday.
I think so. Yep, I think you're right, Greg. But you know what? I'm sorry. I was drinking my coffee, and we were making the trip, and we were going to be there. I told my wife, I said, we're going. Without you or not, I'm going. So, yeah, no, you know what, Greg, and I'm so glad you got to call that game. I really am.
I am too.
That's
That meant a
wow.
lot.
Yeah, no kidding, because you're so much part of this baseball team that, you know, in the voice of the Huskers, that I wouldn't want it any other way, and I'm glad you were there.
I will not be at the regional. I've got some treatments coming up later in the week, so it'll be Ben and David down there, but you'll be in good hands with those two guys.
Oh yeah, I know it. They're good, but we're gonna miss you, bud.
Dan, always love hearing from you.
Thanks, Dan.
Husker Dan up in West Point, big Husker baseball fan, has season tickets at Haymarket Park, and I had a feeling we would be hearing from him tonight.
So there was a video, I think it was Lauren Michelson had posted, you a really cool moment with Coach Bolt, a hug, and I know everybody was glad to see that, but I know he was really glad to be able to do that for you, but how glad were you to be able to have him win that Big Ten tournament?
So glad. You and I have talked about this the last couple of weeks. It's unbelievable the amount of fire Will Bolt seems to be under for a guy that has now won 2 league titles in 5 years, with one of the years being a COVID year where they played like 12 games. I think we're so lucky to have him. I think Troy Dannon feels that way. He's a heck of a coach. He's a heck of a man. This staff has kind of got this thing going in the right direction, and I think we need to have our full support behind Coach Bolt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're here.
Woodhouse Auto Family. They are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Back to wrap up tonight's show next.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting Major Connor Clark with Campus News. UNL's Center for Transformative Teaching works with educators across all majors on new teaching strategies for a new generation of students. The Center for Transformative Teaching helps instructors grapple with AI in the classroom, use data modeling to enhance student learning, earn grants for exploring new teaching methods, and provides crucial insights that power academic success.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks, pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee, the official grocer partner of Husker Athletics. They're your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to fire off a text. We have shut the phone lines off for the last couple minutes of this program. You're headed down to Oklahoma. You got the Women's College World Series starts on Friday. That should be fun.
Yes, I'm excited. I think it will have some more fireworks than maybe what we have seen so far. I know there were a couple good series, but I think it's pretty open. We are hopefully going to get Nate Rohr on sometime this week and chat about some of the transfers that are coming in and maybe preview the Women's College World Series. But it should be fun. I always like watching that event. It gets great ratings on ESPN. I know they really love putting it on the channel as well. But yeah, I might have to pop up to Stillwater. I think it could be pretty fun up there.
How far is that from your home?
Well, from my home, it's only, or where my parents live, about 2.5 hours. But okay. I also have a best friend that lives like 40 minutes from Stillwater, so it's not too bad.
Okay.
But, okay, so had something we wanted to get to before we run out of time. So we have a YouTube stream every night that we have several guys called the OGs, but a lot of guys that are here every single night. And they reached out to me. They wanted to do something for you, Greg. So we've been going behind your back, but they wanted you to be able to open this card live on the air. Oh. And so I'm going to give this to you here.
That is nice.
But they had reached out and they wanted to see about, presenting this to you on the air. And a little,
oh my gosh.
Little funny story. So, and you can read the names that are on there if you want.
Dryce, Justin, Joseph, Ethan, and Andy. How about that?
And then
Crypto and Dr. J.
Yep.
Oh.
So they had asked me a couple.
Guys, this is so. Oh.
So they are here. They're huge supporters of the show, but they had reached out, and I sneakily asked you about your favorite places to eat that I was going to get my parents a gift card.
You hoodwinked me.
Yes, you asked me if I had gone shopping, and I was like, wait, what? But
yeah.
Anyway, so they wanted to get your favorite places to eat in Lincoln. So
that is beyond the pale, guys. I really appreciate that. I've been just so blown away by the amount of support that I've gotten from people. Some that I know really well, some that I haven't heard from in decades, some that are in the business, some that I've not talked to for a long time. It's just been really overwhelming. It helps because, there are tough days, and I'm going to have a few more coming up here with my treatment at the end of the week, but it does help me get through to the next week where I feel better. So thank you. That is so nice, you guys. Appreciate that.
Shane, Dr. J wanted to say Turner, his son, helped make it all happen. He dropped off the card today. So, these guys are from all across the country and wanted to make sure and let you know they're thinking of you. And they always ask about you when you're not here.
That's awesome. Guys, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Wow. I'm not sure I can finish the show out here. If problem gambling is burning up your money, there's a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. No judgment. Just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. We think we're going to get some more kickoff times for football this week, right?
Yes. I was told maybe by Thursday. So hopefully we'll have some football kickoff times to talk about. I think, too, would be, and we were talking about this, maybe trying to find somebody on that can maybe help talk us through, the kickoff times, who gets what, when, where, cool. Why, and break all this down with so many now networks that are involved in the process.
And there are a lot.
Yeah.
This new television deal's got a lot. OGs, again, thank you. Man, you're choking me up here at the end of the hour. Thanks to Camden and Nicole and to all of you for being a part of the program tonight. Back with you tomorrow, full 2 hours. Looking forward to it.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point